Ever stumbled upon something that made you go, whoa, that's different? You might have experienced what we call culture shock. It's that jolt you feel when you encounter a way of life, a set of attitudes, or a collection of cultural norms different from your own. Today, we're going to explore this phenomenon by comparing two fascinating cultures, the vibrant, bustling life of Vietnam and the diverse, expansive culture of America. Now let's dive into the 7 differences that might give you a jolt of culture shock. Starting at number 7, we've got greeting styles. Now in Vietnam, the traditional greeting is a bow. It's a sign of respect and humility. But if you head on over to the land of the free, the United States, you'll find folks shaking hands or even sharing a friendly hug. It's a more informal, yet still respectful way of saying hello. So imagine extending your hand for a firm shake and being met with a courteous bow instead. Pretty shocking, right? Moving on to number 6, it's all about dining etiquette. Now, when you sit down for a meal in Vietnam, you'll notice that sharing is caring. It's quite common to see everyone at the table reaching for the same shared dishes. On the other hand, in America, it's all about individualism, even at the dinner table. Each person typically has their own plate of food. So the next time you're at a Vietnamese dinner, don't be surprised when everyone starts reaching for the same plate. At number 5, we have time perception. Now, this can be a real culture shocker. Over in Vietnam, the perception of time leans towards the relaxed side. The phrase fashionably late might be in full swing there. On the flip side, we have the United States, where punctuality is seen as a virtue. Arriving late? Well, that's a big no-no. So whether you're in Vietnam or America, just remember, on time might not mean the same everywhere. Number 4 is personal space. Now, this is an interesting one. Over in Vietnam, people are accustomed to being in close proximity with each other, whether it's in the home, on the streets, or in public transportation. It's just part of everyday life. On the flip side, in America, personal space is greatly valued. People prefer to keep a comfortable distance during interactions. So if you're in Vietnam and feeling a bit crowded, remember, it's just a part of the cultural experience. We're at number 3, and it's all about communication style. In Vietnam, conversations often take a more indirect route. It's all about maintaining harmony, preserving face, and avoiding confrontation. Now let's hop across the Pacific to America. The communication style here is direct and straightforward, no beating around the bush. They value clarity and assertiveness, even if it might ruffle a few feathers. So remember, when you're navigating these cultural waters, reading between the lines might be necessary in some parts of the world, so stay sharp. Coming in at number 2 is family structure. In the heart of Vietnam, families usually encompass several generations under one roof, forming a hierarchical structure that's deeply respected. On the flip side, American families lean towards a nuclear setup, where parents and children form the core unit. Equality is a big theme, with each member having their say. Yet despite the structural contrasts, the universal truth holds firm. Family ties can look different across the globe, but the love is all the same. And finally, at number 1, we have attitude towards authority. Now let's dive into this interesting difference. In Vietnam, you'll find a high respect for authority. There's a deep-rooted tradition of obedience and deference to those in power. Across the Pacific in America, the situation is quite different. There's an ingrained spirit of questioning authority, challenging norms, and seeking accountability. It's not about disrespect, but about fostering dialogue and progress. Remember, respect comes in many forms, and it's all about understanding each other's perspectives. And there you have it, folks. 7 cultural differences that might give you a bit of a shock. We've journeyed through greeting styles, dining etiquette, time perception, personal space, communication style, family structure, and attitudes towards authority. It's vital to understand and respect these differences as they paint a vivid picture of the world's diverse cultures. Each culture is like a unique piece of a global jigsaw puzzle. Remember, it's these differences that make our world so beautifully diverse, so keep exploring, keep learning, and keep being shocked.